Hey there, Tyler here. Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to share and discuss with you the repair process of a BMW E46 when it comes to the rear subframe mounting points. As we all know, it's very common that the floor begin cracking, and worst case, the actual mount will rip out of the car. That's what happened to me. However, I finally put the focus in and got the project knocked out. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. So without further ado, this is how I did it. Okay, so before we dive into the reinforcement plates, I want to discuss why we always see certain mounts cracking, especially when it comes to the non-M3 cars, okay? It all comes to the subframe itself. On the non-M3 rear subframe, as you can see, the rear differential has one single mount offset to the left, right? And then it has two up front mounts here. Now, under acceleration and deceleration, this subframe is being unevenly torqued because of that mounting system. We're going to see the subframe torquing this mount and this mount, not so much these two. So it's kind of rocking every time you accelerate. And it's going to eventually crack the floor at the rear driver and the front passenger because of the way they mounted this differential. It's unevenly torquing this subframe. That is why, in worst case scenario, when it comes to non-Ms, like this happened to me, this mount is supposed to be in the body, okay? It'll rip out of the floor because of that single mounting system. Now, when it comes to M3s, they do have a 4-point mounting system for their rear diff, but as we know, their damage is much worse on the cars. We will see both mounts ripping down and the whole trunk liner will begin cracking. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to BMW using thin metal during assembly of these cars. It's made prevalent not only by the front strut towers mushrooming, the rear strut towers mushrooming, cracking, but the biggest Achilles heel, the subframe, mounts ripping down through the RACP. This is called the rear axle carrier panel, and I'll show you how to check that, make sure you have no further damage on that too. So for me, step one was to get rid of this uneven torquing, and I wanted the subframe to be evenly torqued. So we need to correct this by going to a 4-point mounting like the M3 has, okay? And to do that, we're going to use the kit from Seems Legit Garage, which is on my subframe now for this car. As you can see, that big single mount was cut off. We now have two tabs right here welded to the subframe. We still retain the OEM fronts though. We're just going to put solid bushings there, okay? They also include in their kit this sandwich plate. See it? It's going to bolt between the differential housing and the differential cover back here. And as you can see, it's pretty straightforward design. This ear will now bolt to right there. That is going to put the subframe back to an even torque. Now, doing this alone is not going to solve your issue, obviously. You still have to reinforce your car, because if you did this without reinforcing, you're asking for further trouble, like how the M3s were. So now after we have that issue solved, we now need to move on to reinforcing the car, okay? So let's discuss that. I now want to discuss this RACP panel, otherwise known as the rear axle carrier panel. It is this entire sheet of metal which is bonded to the car via spot welds. It's going to begin right here in front of the spare tire carrier. It's going to run across, and there's going to be a seam in there. That's RACP. And then it runs up. It also contains the perches for the springs, and it joins to the body right here via that seam. So I highly urge you to inspect the major spots where they meet the body via spot welds. You want to inspect out here, okay? This is the main body of the car. This is the RACP panel. You can see where they're meeting right here. Then there's seam sealer. If you see separation or big cracks in the seam sealer right there, that's going to tell you that the RACP has begun separating from the body of the car. You need to address that immediately or while you're doing your subframe reinforcement. You want to redo all your spot welds around here, re-seam seal, so on and so forth, right? If you're wondering what this paint here is, that is a weld-through primer. So as far as prepping for the reinforcement plates to go on, we obviously grind the body down to bare metal. I then like to coat the surface in a weld-through primer. It's a zinc fortified primer that you can weld directly through. That is going to help prevent corrosion between the surface of the plate and the body of the car. So we're also going to coat the plates in weld-through primer. And now back to the actual reinforcement. So here are my plates from Jackal Autosport. These are very nice plates. They cover a lot of surface area. These are the front, these are the rear. We're going to be using those. As you can see, once again, they're covered in weld-through primer to avoid corrosion back here on the backside in the future. And here is my repair pieces I made to put this box back in the car. I'm going to show you how that goes in real quick. Now, not only are we going to reinforce from the bottom of the car, we're also going to reinforce from the top of the car, okay? Because I feel like only doing the bottom is just it's a band-aid. Yes, these are very big plates. They're going to help distribute the load amongst a bigger surface area. But I feel like we also need to reinforce the top of these boxes. There's going to be 4, obviously. 2 in the back and 2 in the front. And here is the little repair system I made in order to get this box back in the car. This little plate will be installed from the bottom and then welded. This box will be inside of there. It'll get welded to that plate. And then this top plate will be accessible from the trunk to weld. And once again, we have some holes for spot welding to the box. If you had this kind of failure, this will give you a small idea of how I did it. There's other methods too, and then we'll move on to discussing the reinforcing from the top within the body. As you can see, here's that plate I made mocked up into the body of the car. We have it self-tapped just to make sure everything is tight and flush before he welds it for me. Here is the box. It's in there. All these holes here are going to be for plug welds. So this plate will be plug welded to the body of the car via these holes. Then some above here. Then once those are welded, he's going to pull out these screws. I'll probably just have him plug weld those tiny holes. And then I'm going to be in the trunk measuring where this is going to be. And then once I say it's good to go, he's going to plug weld here and here. And then I'm going to grind those down, reprimer, and then we'll put the primary plate over this and weld it all up. We're now going to go in the trunk and show you where that top plate goes. As you can see, there is that box now in the body where it's supposed to be. Once I'm happy with the position where it's been placed, I will take this plate from above, put it in there, and that will get welded in the whole way around, plus those 3 spot welds there to attach it to the box. It's not very straight, but you get the idea. That's how it's going to be, something like that. Now, like I said, we're going to also reinforce from the top of this trunk. So I have a brace which ties the strut towers to the subframe points. I'm going to put that in real quick and show you how that works. Here is that brace I was talking about. Not only is it going to reinforce the strut towers so they can't mushroom, but it also runs down and it's now going to aid in having the subframe braced to the floor. There's going to be long bolts that run the whole way down and grab the subframe to hold it up. And then whenever it's all said and done, I'm going to obviously put this piece back in right here. I'm going to cut it out from a parts car. I'm going to place it in there and weld it so it looks like that side there. Now, this component, my front strut brace, and the plates in which reinforce from the back seat all come from the same place. After I show you those plates up there, we'll discuss the manufacturer in which we made these. Okay, now that we have the rear points reinforced from top and bottom, we're going to also reinforce the front points of the subframe up top. Now, by using these plates here, we're going to bond them to the actual chassis of the car. I opted for riveting them with stainless steel rivets and using a certain adhesive to bond them to the chassis. As you can see, this right here is nothing more than a long bolt which resembles the factory front subframe bolts, just with longer threads. It's going to thread the whole way through that box in the body and leave you with some threads like that for a nut to grab. That is going to tie the chassis of the car to that box in the body. You can see it right there. Now, the person who supplies this stuff is none other than Dusan Strutworks. He's over in Europe. Very cool guy. I'll show you the engine bay strut tower next here in a moment. But when it comes to these kits like this, he's going to supply you with a special drill bit / bolt here. If you're wondering how you know where to cut the body to add your cups, if you plan on doing this, you go underneath the car, and you're going Sorry about that, that was pretty loud. You're going to thread this into that box where the subframe goes, and this bolt is hollow. You then take the supplied drill bit. You're going to drill very slowly up through the body of the car, the whole way into the interior. That gives you a pilot hole, so you have a rough idea of where to cut out your square for your plates. Then also, like I said, he includes these longer bolts to grab the plates. He also includes the bolts for the subframe brace, which are longer than stock. Same concept. They're right here. And also, like I said, he also supplies strut braces, sorry, for the front. Right here is that one. Looks pretty awesome. He actually builds them per order. Very, very friendly guy and solid work. Good quality stuff. And here we have some of the plates mocked up using, a little side note for you, the lug bolts for the wheels. They're the same thread pitch as the mounts in the body. So pairing those with a washer for more of a flat bond. Got those mocked up that way. Both fronts are mocked up. And this one rear right here for now, until we get that welded up and then we put that plate on. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Lots of coverage of surface area for these plates. Here we have the plates now welded to the car. I had my cousin come over, perform the welding off of his back. He did the best he could for me. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I've already went ahead and I took a wire brush and I brushed all of these plates down to rid of any slag and possible impurities. I'm now going to grind down these plug welds so they're not hitting off the bushings of the subframe there. I will then further prep the surface with some probably like 320 grit sandpaper and then do a nice acetone wipe down. I am then going to prime the surface in a epoxy primer. Let that dry for a little while. Then I'm going to use some seam sealer, round off the welds. Once that's fully cured, I'm going to apply a coating which mimics the OEM E-coat, the olive green stuff here. We were then I'm going to show you the trunk real quick too, how that turned out. And here's the trunk area in which we welded. Now I know these little spot welds here don't appear very ideal. However, this little piece right here is nothing more than cosmetic. It is nothing structural. I just want it to look, matching on both sides. What lies underneath those welds is a very nice weld, which we have the plate welded down and the spot welds on top of that box. Super solid. It is now not going anywhere. I'm going to prep this surface once again by cleaning it, acetone, a little bit of sanding, epoxy primer, and then I'm going to seam seal around all these spot welds and make it look like OEM seam sealer if I can. It's just they put so much back here. And then I'm going to figure out what paint I'm going to use to paint this whole strip so it all matches. And here are the products in the order which I'll be using them. As you know, we have already used this weld through primer by USC. Has been awesome stuff. My cousin said the welds pass right through it, no problem at all. Works great. Once again, this is to help prevent corrosion between the body and the plates we welded on. Then we have a 2K epoxy primer from Napa. Other companies also make this. This is the can you have to mix yourself. Generally, a good quality paint comes in cans like that, so I'm excited to use that stuff. And then we're going to follow up with Seam Sealer by Dynatron. I got this at AutoZone. This is made by 3M. 3M makes it. Hopefully this stuff works out great to seal off any holes and obviously voids and things like that. And then we're going to finish this all off with this Easy Coat by SEM, S-E-M. It mimics OEM E-coats. Now, I was told this stuff is very hard and rock solid. It works well, so I can't wait to apply that. You can also apply this directly to metal, as stated by the can, and from reviews I've read. However, the location where this will be applied, I want to make sure it's going to bond very well, hence the epoxy primer. This is going to finish off the job, and hopefully it looks awesome. But yeah, those are the products in the order in which they will be used. Let's get back to it. And here we are following the epoxy primer and also using some seam sealer to seal up all the welds to ensure that they are weather resistant. I'm going to follow up by further preparing this RACP panel before I coat it in the SEM undercoating, and that should wrap it up down here underneath the car. Alrighty, and here is the SEM coating which has been applied to the bottom of this car. As you can see, it appears rather smooth, as if it were an OEM factory finish. I am very happy and satisfied with the progress of this project so far. As far as the work needed down here, that's pretty much it for this job. We can now move on to the trunk to see how that also has turned out. And there she is, the mounting spot in the trunk. It is now seam sealed. But before I seam sealed it, I obviously applied some primer so it wouldn't corrode. That pretty much wraps up the subframe reinforcement. I am now going to mock up my brace and my fuel cell. There is the mock-up of the components. As you can see, my fuel cell is nice and dusty, so I haven't worked on it in a while, but everything is fitting pretty nice. We will go underneath the car and make sure the bolts are in the proper spot, because I do have them placed in the brace now. Let's go check it out real quick. Yep, there they are. Here are the bolts in which pass down through the body, and they will grab the subframe. Once again, these go directly to the brace in the trunk to avoid any excessive movement. So that will avoid the floor from cracking again and things like that. I also, before I applied the epoxy primer, I did grind these plates and body back down to bare metal, as I was not sure how well it would bond to the weld-through primer. Because once again, the weld-through primer was only there to avoid corrosion between the plate and the body. So it's doing its job. When it came to the outside of the plates, I wanted it back to bare metal for maximum adhesion of the epoxy primer. Then I carried on with the work. Well, guys, that's all for today's video. If you found the following to be useful or knowledgeable for you, feel free to subscribe to my channel, as I highly appreciate it. Once again, we have a big shout out to these 3 companies. We have Dusan Strutworks, Jackal Autosport, and Seems Legit Garage. These 3 are great companies, great owners, and they pump out quality products. I enjoy giving credit where credit is due, and those 3 companies are excellent. I'm very happy to finish that subframe mounting point reinforcement, as that was the last big project before that car sees the road. I have not driven that car in 4 years. I've been slowly building the car up from the ground since then. That car means a lot to me. I'll talk more about that car later. But yeah, as for now, I'm going to finish editing this video, and then I'm going to upload it so you guys can watch it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.